First of all, let me get this off the table. My fault, through my own fault, and my own grievous fault, we started late today. So I won't even offer excuses or blame anyone. Let me focus on just one verse that St. Paul mentioned in his letter to the Corinthians. It's part of the reading today. He said, Jesus died for all. So let me just have an interaction here. Why did Jesus die for all? Why did Jesus die for all? In the creed we say, for us and for our salvation, right? What is that salvation? Sadly, a popular misunderstanding of that salvation is what happens to us after our life on earth. But salvation is the product of what Jesus did, which is give his life for us, right? For us and for our salvation, he came down from heaven, and then he offered his life. But St. Paul said, he died for us so that we no longer live for ourselves, but for him, who died and rose again for us, so that we can do that. Salvation is not going to a better place after we die physically. Salvation is we live, not for ourselves, but for him. Yesterday, we celebrated the Feast of the Holy Trinity, and it's called by many as the preacher's nightmare, because they feel like they have to explain what the Holy Trinity is about. Even if you just try to do that, you might lose your mind because it's a mystery. The Holy Trinity is a mystery that is not meant for us to solve, but is meant for us to pattern our lives after, because it is salvation. See, God said in the beginning, and this was the reading yesterday, let us make man in our own image. The Holy Trinity speaking in our own image and likeness. That's what happened. They put somebody on earth who was created in their image, because that's how the world is run. That's how the world the world goes round because of that. When man sinned, he stopped being like God. What is God? What is the image of God? God is love. The Holy Trinity is a community of love, where each of the three persons have love for the other. The definition of love: desiring and pursuing what is good for another. When man sinned, when he fell, the meaning of that is that he stopped acting in love. He stopped desiring and pursuing the good of others, namely the earth, the environment, the animals, and everyone else, his spouse. He stopped doing that, and he gave in to the temptation of taking care of myself, desiring what is good for me and pursuing it. What was the temptation? Eat of this fruit, it will be good for you. Not another, you. When he did that, that's when he sinned. So sin is that. Sin is stopping to live in the image and likeness of God and starting to live for ourselves. That's why Jesus died, St. Paul said. Jesus died for us so that we, who, like Adam, lived for ourselves, we may now stop doing that and live for God and for others. That's salvation. That is eternal life. It begins now. It begins now. And if we stop doing that, then we will die. That's what God said. You eat of the fruit, you stop living according to the image and likeness of God, you will die. Because that's your nature. You see, a fish is designed to live underwater. You give him conditions contrary to that, he will die. Get it out of the water and put it on land. It may live for a while. Magkikisay-kisayan sa panandali, no? We don't know how many minutes. But eventually it will die. Because he's living contrary to his nature. Likewise, we, human beings, were meant to live on land, to breathe in air. If we go underwater, we may dive, skinny dip and probably enjoy for a while, but we cannot survive for long underwater because that's not our nature to be doing that. So if we do something against our nature, it will kill us. If we live according to how we were made in the image and likeness of God, then that's how we live. So how we get this, right? We act naturally because that's eternal life. And our nature is the divine nature. God is love. We were created in love, to love, and to live in love. We go against that, we die. We walk according to that, we experience eternal life. And that's, the Holy Trinity is three persons in one. They're one. And so my question, yesterday I was giving the homily in the Novaliches, church in Novaliches. I said, my question is this: if God made us one, why do we tear each other down and tear each other apart? Why do we do that? And I asked, who here has done this? Closed his fist and hit himself in the face. Nobody does that because your fist and your face belong to one body. They're one. They're one. It's foolish. Let me say this word. It's stupid for anyone to do that. And yet we, as one body, do that to each other. And when we do that and constantly do that, in a short while, eventually, we will die. We will experience pain first, we will die. Question is, why do that? Why not choose life? And just, like the song says, act naturally. Because we were created in God's image. And as long as we walk in that image, we experience eternal life. We stop doing it, then we experience death. The Holy Trinity, an image for us to pattern our lives after. That's the way it is in the kingdom of our God.